Fast, 400 on the dash, 55 bills, but 50 for the tax on the bag.
Welcome back, guys, to another challenge run video. Today, I'll be trying to beat Watchdogs Act III without firing a single shot. What this means is I can kill enemies with explosives, hacking, cars, and melee. No guns are allowed. With that said, let's get on with the video. Mission 1 of 6 is really easy because it starts out with a scavenger hunt to try and find the person with the access code. This part was really easy. The second part is this puzzle thingy that took a long time. I'm just an idiot, so it took like an hour. We meet Raymond Kenny get thrown out a window, become best buds for some reason. Then came the first roadblock of the run. I had to come into this compound and take the back Tbones Truck. Problem was, there's so many people, I had to shuffle around the complex while silently taking people out with my stick. It only worked for a while, and they kept shooting me down, so this was hard, but I finally got past it. Then Watchdogs threw another wrench in the works. I had to escape with Tbones Truck while getting chased by many people. This soon became a huge challenge. After I brought the van to the desired location, everyone stopped and started shooting at me. There wasn't much cover, and I was outnumbered 10 to 1. This took a lot of thinking, but I finally hit everyone without getting shot. The problem is with this run, one guy can kill you with a couple shots. I'm playing this on hard mode, so I have to be very, very, very strategic about what I do. This is one of the easier parts. It gets way harder later. With the last goon beaten, that marks the end of Chapter 1 of Act 3. There are 6 chapters in Act 3, each one more and more difficult, so this is only a precursor to the pain I'd be feeling later. Oh god, I hate this run. Now, on to Mission 2. This one was actually super easy compared to the other ones. A good chunk of the mission was just tailing a helicopter, which obviously requires no combat. Later though, I need to do a little bit of hard thinking. The second part of the mission was I had to take down 2 people who had security access. Basically, the first one was super easy. The second one gave me a couple problems though. I didn't realize there was a sniper in the sniper tower until too late, so I ended up getting shot multiple times. After this though, I realized my mistake and fixed it. With the second security chief killed and hacked, I got out of there silently so I wouldn't have to fight any militia. This was the end of Mission 2, and was a breather after the last one, which almost gave me a heart attack. Mission 3 was somehow refreshingly a lot easier than the mission before this. All I needed to do was just destroy a guy in a convoy, so I did that via steam pipe. I just kind of swam in the water until they lost heat in me for a while. I know, I'm kind of a wuss. And that marks the end of Mission 3. We're halfway, only 3 more to go. Now, on to Mission 4. Mission 4 was a lot easier for the first part. The first part basically just has you sneaking around the complex, hacking consoles without being seen. This part was really easy, so I'll blip over it. Now here came the most rage-inducing part of the run. Basically, the alarm is tripped, and all the fixers head over for Raymond Kenny. I'm supposed to go defend him. Basically, an onslaught of fixers try to kill him, and there's very little place to hide, and there's billions of them. So it's really hard to take them all down with fists or explosives. Even with Raymond Kenny's little structures, it's still really hard. Also, there's a couple enforcers, which are really strong enemies that you can't take down with, by melee without a special perk that I do not have yet. I probably should have planned ahead and done this, but I had to get very creative with doing that. Bloom threw their full weight at me, and it took dozens of attempts to take them all down. The worst part was the enforcer, who I had to waste all my grenades on. There's multiple sections of this too. I'll show you some of the highlights. Whew. Got the hardest part of the run done. From now on, it's not that bad. We just got one more hurdle to hop over. This one is Rossi Fremont, the last mission. What I just showed you was missions 4 and 5. Now we're on to mission 6. Our final mission, Rossi Fremont. This one was pretty hard, about the same difficulty as the last 2 levels. I'll guide you guys through it. The first part was pretty easy. I just snuck by everybody and got straight to the door. It was actually a lot easier than most of the level, which was pretty surprising to me since there's so many guards and snipers. The first floor was super easy. There was 3 armored guards, which I thought would give me a lot of trouble, but one good grenade did the job. I took an elevator to another floor, and it was actually still pretty easy. There's a couple people around the balconies, but I could use the balconies to hide and sneak around while hitting them. Here's a couple examples of me doing so. The floor after that didn't give me much trouble. At first, I kind of wanted to throw a grenade and hit the 2 guys, but I thought it was pointless since one of the person had a grenade on them I could hack. So I hacked him, and some good stuff happened. This right here is probably one of the hardest floors I encountered, except for the boss fight. There is an enforcer standing there who, again, I didn't have the skill to take down, and 2 elites trying to shoot me. I put grenades into him left and right. He still didn't die. Also, the 2 elites would stop me from advancing and trying to kill him like that. I tried my hardest over and over, but yet it didn't work. I kept getting overrun. I quit the game for a bit, trying to think of what I could do. I kept dying. Finally, I came up with a solution. After a lot of trial and error, I finally came up with a plan. I threw an IED over and blew up 3 of the people. Now it was just me, the enforcer. I did a very stupid strategy and ran right by him. It actually ended up working. I don't even know how, but I don't think the developers wanted me to do this. This next part I tried to do completely stealth, but I ended up failing miserably. As you can see, I kept getting pounded by all the guards. Finally, I snuck up on all of them and killed them. I entered Iraq's room, which had a very lovely note on it, and I started stealing all the data from the servers. After this would come the hardest part of the run, which was the boss fight. It actually isn't that hard when you have guns, but when all you have is explosives and a little nightstick, it gets really, really hard. You'll see later. I met up with Iraq. Iraq escaped for a tiny bit, and a pretty cool scene, I'm not gonna lie. Then I went to the rooftop and heard the most curse words I've ever heard in about a minute by Iraq. Here's the deal with the boss fight. Basically, Iraq sends 3 elites, which are pretty hard people, after me. Those guys were a breeze. But guess what? After that, he sends an enforcer, then he comes out himself. The enforcer and him both count as enforcer status, which means I can't beat them up, and it takes many, many explosives to take them out. So, I had to get kind of creative with this. I wasted all my bombs on the enforcer. I just kept doing it and doing it. At this time, I thought that the enforcer was Iraq, but it turned out to be wrong later. This surprised even me. I kept throwing bombs and doing all these explosives on the enforcer. Sometime, I finally killed him. Iraq then showed himself. I thought Iraq was going to be a normal foot soldier. So, as you could see, later when I threw an IED at his feet and he kept on walking, I was pretty surprised. I was also kind of afraid that he had to shoot him with a gun to kill him in order to progress the plot. At this point, I thought it was all over. I started getting really scared, because I didn't want all this work to be for nothing. I eventually killed the enforcer, as you can see, and I started taking on Iraq. Again, I thought Iraq was immortal unless he used a gun, so I started throwing all I had at him, like not wanting to let this run go to waste. I crafted some more IEDs, and then threw more IEDs at him. I threw more frags at him too. Finally, he went down. Here's the killing blow, the most satisfying thing I've ever done in this game. Here's it on loop if you guys really want to see that. It feels super satisfying for me. With Iraq dead, that marks the end of Act 3 for Watchdogs. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you guys. This took me a long time to film. Even though it's shorter than my previous video, this one took a lot more time, a lot more thinking, and mostly a lot more brute skill. It actually taught me how to play the game a little differently. Instead of running and gunning, it kind of taught me to go slow and think more about my stuff. This gotta be more fun than the previous run. I'm really glad for that. Thank you guys for supporting my content. I hope you guys come back later, and have a nice night. Good night.